It's a great day to be a coyote. Welcome, Coyote Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow coyotes. As a disclaimer, we have no affiliation to the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at BackToPackSD and join the USD Coyote Fans Nation page on Facebook. Last but not least, lock in your Yote Fund membership level at www.goyotes.com. That said, let's talk some Coyote football.
Heck yeah. Yeah, sure felt like fall today, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, what a beautiful morning. I tell you what, I think it was like a low of 50-something this morning. I woke up, had that little bit of chill in the air. I think Mark Wentz said it best this morning, felt a little football-y this morning.
We'll say it felt tailgate because it's always 72 where we play.
That's right. Always 72 in the dome.
Exactly.
All right. As we get rolling here, obviously it's just you and I, Jake, tonight. We don't have Grant with us. He's off with dad duties. So it's just you and I. No guests lined up, but we do have just some kind of housekeeping stuff to go through tonight, along with some roster updates that we haven't touched on yet. But before we get rolling, got a couple of people in here already. Yote fan says, hello, fellow Yote fans. What up, Yote fan? He's the OG, by the way, for those that don't listen to our show on the regular. He's been here since the beginning, and he loves commenting, so we appreciate having him here.
Yeah, we appreciate any fans chiming in, too. This is what it's for. Love doing it live because, well, we're not perfect. We won't edit anything out, that's for sure, but it's also fun getting the added benefit of having fans chatting with us while we do it. So if you got anything while we're going, please shout it out.
I say it's one thing to have a podcast, right, and just kind of our old format. But when we switched over to YouTube and having the live option, really kind of elevated this thing and brought a lot more excitement. And that's what we're looking for, is that fan engagement. So yeah, be part of the show, comment, show. Hey, we'd love to have other fans on the show, so you can always hit us up and get on here too.
Exactly. And yeah,
all right, man.
Subscribe.
Let's do this. We've got 44 days. 44 days to Ames. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm counting down very impatiently, I think is the best way to describe it.
I think this week really, and I know the weeks are, for me, they're flying by. I don't know about you, but this week it finally started to feel like football, not only weather-wise, like we just said, but really just on the calendar. It seems like as we hit mid-July, in my mind, we've got media days coming up, which we'll talk about. It feels like we're getting real close now. So for me, the excitement's really building.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to say this too. If I start glitching out, let me know, because my Wi-Fi I'm getting a low Wi-Fi signal.
I did too. I wonder if it's our platform tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were saying, 6 Saturdays, 44 days. I want to give this update, Jake, that we found out this week from Grant, who actually called the ticket office, the USD ticket office, questioning the USD allotment for the Iowa State game. And he basically just asked, hey, when are those tickets going to be given out? And who, if not everybody, is going to receive those tickets. And basically they told him they'll be given out about 2 weeks before the game, I'm guessing electronically. And then also basically everybody that put in for those tickets through the USD ticket office in that group package for $85, everybody's going to get a ticket. So the demand, obviously the demand didn't match the number of seats that we were given. So sounds like everybody that did put in is going to get a seat there through that option. Now, if you didn't go that route, because that's already closed, you brought up this week that the Iowa State single game tickets are now on sale. So that's another option for folks. Go ahead and let us know about that.
Yeah, definitely jump on that if you missed out on the USD opportunity. I got some really solid tickets, and it's just ease of mind for me getting the opportunity to know I have my tickets where I'm at and all that, and getting to pick it out was really nice. But with it, we're bringing my family also. We're bringing 20 people to the game.
It's a big group. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, this is probably one of the biggest games in Conover, Holcron history,
right?
We're clashing. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So we're excited about that opportunity. But yeah, I will say take advantage of it. I know they're selling out quickly. They're very amped about this season, and rightfully so. They had one of the best seasons in history, and they return their quarterback, and they have high expectations again. So get them now before they sell out.
Yeah, and it's their home opener, right? They play in Ireland the week before against Kansas State, which we talked about on several episodes prior to this one. But it is their home opener, so even though it is a FCS opponent for them, again, it's their home opener, so fans are going to be jacked up. It's been a long time since they've been in that stadium, so I do want to call this out too for the visitors section, because there was some conversation this week that we had, and we saw some questions on the internet about that. And so, Jake, you had mentioned section 41, which is the sliver, the gray sliver that's circled there on the top left of that photo of their stadium that people are seeing. And then H and J looks like also in that upper section there in the bottom right of the image that's on the screen. But H, J, and 41 looks like the designated visitors section. So I assume USD's allotment will be there. So if you're looking to maybe buy a single ticket or even a resale ticket, and you want to be with fellow USD fans, that's the sections that I would target. But obviously, anywhere in the stadium is going to be good too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, those dark brown ones just to the right of the circle down the bottom right, those are going to be your cheap seats. They are very economically friendly. But I have sat in that blue section just left of the visitor section before, and that actually was a fantastic seat. You're up in the upper deck, and surprisingly, you can see pretty much anything out there. One thing I want to point out, too, for the fans, especially the ones that are sitting up in section 41, that skinny sliver up on the top side.
Yes.
This white part right next to the green in that box, that white part is actually where the USD football team will walk out from and go back into the locker room at.
And okay, so our tunnel entrance there to get onto the field.
Yep, and then this green section here is actually a grass hill, and you can buy seats for that specifically as well. Yes. You can buy tickets for it, but it is a chain link fence that's 3 feet tall that separates you. So it's definitely a good spot to bring the kids to before the game starts. Players usually walk by doing some high fives, so it's just a little insider information for you.
Love it. Good stuff.
Oh, and wear, even if it's hot, wear the jacket with the big pockets because they don't sell beer.
Man, yeah, you mentioned that this week in our group text, and I was honestly a little dumbfounded to find that out, that they don't have alcohol there.
Yeah, the better university. The better university at this game sells beer in the dome or in their stadium. So
that's really interesting. All right, so that's enough on Iowa State. A lot more to come on that as we get closer. We'll be doing a ton of episode work on that game and things leading up to that game. And I guess last thing I'll say is today, I think it was the Yote Fund, which is kind of your new Howling Pack group, sent out an email about RSVPing for the USD tailgate in Ames, which I think starts at 10:30, so about 10:30 to 2 p.m. I believe. So if you want to RSVP to that, there'll be a lot more information coming out about that too, and parking and maps, and I'm sure all that information will be coming. But just to get your name on that list now, so they know how many are coming, go ahead and check your emails for that info.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be fun to tailgate with all the. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I had to throw this on there real quick because there's a maple tree in my yard that's already has orange and red leaves. So I don't know about you, Jake, but I don't know what you got for trees in your yard, but my tree is ready for fall. It's only mid-July.
Apparently.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think it might be overhydrated. That's hydration taxation right there.
Man, it has been raining a lot. I've been very thankful for that because I haven't had to water my garden or my trees nearly as much this year. But no, it's getting me excited to look out the window and see that. So, and like we mentioned, this morning's temps were on the cool side, which was a welcome change.
Yep, exactly.
All right, promos. So this information came out a couple weeks ago already, but just want to circle back because we hadn't touched on it yet. And looks like there is a theme or promotion for every game again this year. We do have some color theme games. So right off the bat, you've got the whiteout, and I know, Jake, this is something that you specifically have been asking for.
Yes.
You finally got it. How are you feeling about that?
Dude, this is awesome. And, you know, this is all credit to Penn State and what they created on their whiteout game. I think it's just a fantastic idea. Now, it does suck that we're wasting it on this opponent. We'll get to that in a future episode, but it does suck who we're wasting it on, and that the Missouri Valley controls your uniform so much, like John Schemmels mentioned. But I'm pumped. It's cool. It's a fun way to change up the atmosphere. If they can get those white pom-poms for the crowd in every seat, get the dome rocking, it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so this one, like you just mentioned, this opponent, Northern Colorado, the Bears, they are actually picked last in the Big Sky this year.
And it ain't even close.
And the Big Sky, I mean, the bottom half of the Big Sky is pretty terrible. So to be picked last in the Big Sky, yeah, but like you said, we've got the theme, we've got egg appreciation. There's a lot of things to celebrate. It's obviously our home opener, which, by the way, we have our first 2 games on the road, so we don't get a home game until September freaking 13th.
Yep,
It's a long time to wait.
It does suck a little bit, but you know what? The nice thing is the first road game is so close. It's an away home game.
Yeah, and we'll be there, so no complaints. But just to get back into the dome, we do have to wait a couple extra weeks. But yeah, so wear white on that one, which is really interesting too, because last year they rolled out the black jerseys at that home opener against Northern, and so I thought it was kind of cool. We went opposite with the white out to start the season, which is pretty cool. And then they follow that up with the black, which will be a blackout game against Drake, and then you've got obviously D-Day, so that's going to be whatever color people want to wear. I guess Illinois, what do you got? Military, is that military appreciation? Yeah.
Yep. Illinois State will be your military appreciation. They always do that one towards the close to Veterans Day. So yeah. And then Native American Heritage, which I'm kind of surprised they're that way. I figured they would have been flip-flopped, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be our white helmets with the American flag logo. Always a fan favorite.
I agree with you. So I like the Native American Heritage game against UND. I do like that, but I kind of wish they were flip-flop, just because I do think the military appreciation would make more sense closer to Veterans Day, but neither here nor there, I guess. And then obviously to end the season against the Jacks, you've got the red out there. So a lot of things, I love the promotions, and I especially love the theme games where you get the colors.
Yeah.
Really kind of adds a whole nother dynamic to the fans get to dress up in unison. I do like that part.
Yeah.
We've got Grant's chiming in already. Can we put up 70 in our first 3 home games?
Are you adding those up, Grant, altogether, or are you saying 70 per? Because I think 70 per is more likely than adding them up.
Yes. Yeah, let's not do 70 combined in those 3, but very possible we get to at least a 50 burger. I don't know about 70, Grant. That's getting pretty it's getting pretty wild and crazy. I know with Coach Nielsen in the past, he probably wouldn't do that, but hey, maybe Travis Johansson's just going to let it rip all game long. I don't know.
Hey, when you got the best receiving core, best quarterback, best running back room, it's going to be hard not to put up points. Our fourth string would start quite a few Missouri Valley teams. So,
yeah, right. Yote fan coming in here with the NCC comment. I believe he's referring to the Northern Colorado Bears there, but I do remember. I think, Jake, even during our college days, I'm pretty sure we played Northern Colorado.
Yeah, it's definitely a familiar name for sure. They've have not a lot of history to them, so it's kind of a passing by, not really looking into them too much.
Yeah, so obviously looking at our home schedule, it's backloaded, right? You're tougher. You're, out of the 6 opponents, your 3 toughest ones are the last 3. Yeah, your easiest 3 are the first 3. So,
I still have question marks for UND this season.
We'll see. I mean, that's later in the year, so who knows? But yeah, can't wait to get back in the dome. I guess that's kind of where I'm at with when I see this. Now,
should we start a little speculation on, since you brought up the black uniforms for the first game, breaking out something new? What if they? I don't know what much they can do for the white uniforms. I doubt there's no really a throwback to use. But what if they put the black helmet logo, the big coyote, red coyote, on the white helmets?
They could.
The red numbers.
I could see him doing something with the helmet. As far as an entirely new uniform, something white, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
but definitely, I could see something with the helmet. Just a little
Yeah.
accent piece, whether it's a different logo or something. Would
Or a
definitely.
red face mask. Been
Hey,
asking for that for a while.
hey, there you go. I don't know. You're gonna get that. You'd be pretty lucky to get both those things in the
Ooh,
first game of the season.
be still.
All right, we got Grant here. He's wouldn't be preseason without Jake Duggan on UND. Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I was wrong last year on UND.
No, you were not wrong. But the fact the game became as close as it was at the end, maybe I look at it a little bit differently as far as that specific game. But we did hold on to the victory, but that was way too close for comfort.
Well, we'll figure out how to recover onside kicks, and we'll be just fine.
There you go. All right. We're gonna. By the way, we're gonna do a full preview. Game by game with predictions breakdown here coming real soon. We've starting to put together our notes. We're just getting through these final kind of admin things here on these episodes, but coming real soon is going to be a full prediction episode. Maybe even multiple episodes, depending how deep we want to go.
Oh yeah, we could.
How about this? How about captains and media day? Let's do media day first. This was announced here recently. Going back to in-person media day in Sioux Falls on Monday, the 21st, which this hasn't been in person for a while. I can't, off the top of my head, don't know how many years, but maybe pre-COVID is when it was in person, something like that. But no, how cool is that? Going back to in-person media day, make it a deal. All the other conferences have this and kind of try to make it a big deal. So the fact that they're putting this together and having it back in person is really cool. And then we did see it's going to be Coach Johansson and the number one QB running back duo in the FCS with Aiden Bauman and Charles Pierre Jr. are going to be the two players that represent us at that media day. So they'll be doing all kinds of interviews.
Oh yeah, no, and my willpower right now is at an all-time high to stay in work, not go into it. But I'm so close to calling in sick and just going to the media day.
I mean, hey, we're amateurs, but we technically are media now, right?
I'd call us media-ish.
We should be able to get some credentials or something. If Jaron Duffy's listening to this, hook us up. Don't make us just crash media day in Sioux Falls.
I mean, I'll sneak in.
I mean, you're right there. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Grant, you want to call in sick? We can do it.
There you go. All right, team captains.
Oh man.
So first off, when we saw the photo shoot drop out at in the Black Hills at the Mount Rushmore Monument, and we saw Aiden and I think it was old seatbelt Lewis were the two, both wearing the number 2 jersey, one offense, one defense there. I just assumed that those two were the captains and that's why they were in the photo shoot. But here we get announced it was I don't know, a day or two ago already, but your captains for the 2025 season. What are your thoughts on these guys? You've got obviously Charles Pierre, you've got Aiden. Who else do we have? We've got Wade Abrams. White. And then, Tim. So the surprise for me was Tim White, and only because you just don't hear his name a lot. Now, I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but it just seems like he flies under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely flew under the radar last season. He got starter minutes is the best way to describe it. So definitely don't write him off going into next season, but he's just been that workman guy for the team, does everything right. And I think the team's rewarding him for his time, his efforts, and everything. And this is not a knock on him at all. He's absolutely deserving of this title. And so congratulations to him and to Wes Abrams too.
What a joke. Freaking Zimmer. We won't, I'm not going to mention him or his company or who he works for, but he's a joke.
Yeah. But the fact that you reference something in your article and the name is literally written on the page in front of you as you're typing it up.
Yeah. Sad. Be better, Zim. But yeah, so let's talk about Wade for a second, because you made a good point about just, obviously he was a transfer from Valpo, right? Comes in here for his sophomore year. He gets to play some decent minutes and even see the field. I don't know if maybe in injury situations, he's out there, filling in that starting spot, played on special teams quite a bit. And now here he is, junior going into junior year and a team captain.
Yes, it's entirely deserving if you know everything going on in the background. For the people that aren't seeing on the inside, it can come as a shock for somebody that came in, transferred in from Valpo, didn't start last season, and all of a sudden you see this new name pop up. But for everybody in the know, this is absolutely huge for him. It's well deserving, and I think he's gonna be one of the biggest names on the defensive side of the ball this season,
I
if
think so
not
too.
the
And,
biggest.
obviously with Gary Bryant, the third departing, that opened up some opportunity for guys. And we have Nate Ewell coming back, which is huge too.
Mhm.
But yeah, for Wade, I mean, I look at it as this like, this is his time to shine. And we saw him at the spring game and he looked bigger, faster, stronger.
Yep.
And you could tell he really has worked on his body since the season had ended there in December. And I really do look for him to take the next step. He hasn't had the flashy
Mhm.
plays or the stats to back it up prior to this, but I think he's going to have a breakout season.
I had to text his mom after we saw the announcement celebrating him. It's just so cool. And then, I mean, the two others, not to be forgotten by any means, but the
Definitely
number one
not.
quarterback in college football and FCS, and then the number one running back in FCS, and probably top 15 in all of college football, if not even higher than that.
Yep.
Well deserving.
How about your thoughts on this? So last year, obviously, Charles Pierre had to split the carries with Travis Tice, and you
Mhm.
saw later in the year, especially down the stretch in December and into the playoffs, Travis was featured primarily, but Um, right before that, I mean, Charles Pierre had a breakout game against UND where he had 100 and some yards, and I think he had maybe a 60-yard, reception for a touchdown over the middle, and all these different things. He had all these all-purpose yards.
Mhm.
What he's going to be the feature back. He's going to be the guy this year.
Yes.
Obviously, he's not going to be the only guy, but he's going to be the number one option. So, you look at his stats last year, and him and Tice both over 1,000 yards. Both 20+ touchdowns. It's going to be really interesting to see just how much damage he does now that he's the guy.
Yeah, and one of those, it's kind of weird because, and I'm pulling up stats so I can talk about it better. But like we all kind of went into Youngstown State. I know that was one that we didn't have Travis Tyson, and at first you're like, oh, what's going on? He's the guy right now, and it's not going. But then all of a sudden his stats start stacking up real quick on it, and it really popped for him.
When you
But
saw
I
that
think,
last year in several games where he can take it to the house really from anywhere. I mean, he had 60
mhm,
and 80-yard touchdown runs in multiple games last year. And so
yep,
he is that home run threat. Whereas Tice was more that pounder and that bruiser, and it's gonna get you 5 to 10 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean,
hmm
the difference is Charles Pierre Jr. can take it to the house on any given play because he can flat out outrun people.
and now he's gotten stronger too, where he can be that ground and pound guy that doesn't have to leave the field. And I mean, after our show last week, talking to Josh a little bit, that there's an opportunity for a few backs to give him some breathers. So I'm curious if he does average 15 yards or 15 carries a game.
Right. And traditionally we have split. We have
Hmm.
two usually good workhorses in the backfield, and so we do split carries. But the difference is he's not going to be second fiddle this year. He's number one, and so I'm just curious to see how that plays out. And then obviously with Aiden, right? We went into just before Christmas thinking, as the season ended and kind of that Christmas time
Hmm.
period, we were thinking, okay, well, Aiden's moving on, and then we find out right before Christmas that Aiden's coming back. And you look at the top 5 or even top 10 FCS teams, he's clearly the number one quarterback returning out of those top 5 or top 10 teams.
Yes, he is the best quarterback on a ranked team by far. And when we really compare, and I actually had a great conversation with some SCSU fans on this a little bit when talking about it. You can sit there and compare because the Monmouth quarterback has stupid stats. Like he out threw
Oh
Aiden by
yeah.
like 800
Yeah.
yards
Video game
without
numbers.
playoffs.
Yep.
But let's compare strength of schedule, and Aiden goes and does what he did only
Right.
threw like what 4 interceptions all season in the toughest conference in FCS.
Exactly.
You can compare, but you also, I think, read between the lines, look at the background, not just compare stats and go based off that.
And he comes back, just thinking of his kind of situation. He comes
Mhm.
back to this year. Really, it's natty or bust, right? It's championship or bust. There's only one reason
Exactly.
he came back, and that's to win the natty and elevate his stock. And this is his team, and it has been for a while. So this is nothing new. Obviously, there's some new faces now that he's going to have to play with, to throw the ball to, and who's blocking for him up front. But
Hmm.
it's his team, and we go as he goes. And so, if the past is any kind of indication as to where we're going to go, Jake, I mean, we expect, it's national championship. Like, that's the expectations with him leading the way.
Sorry, I'm chuckling at
Put it,
Grant's.
go ahead, put it up there.
So you're not wrong.
It's
Could
not
you
going to happen.
imagine?
Yes, it would, Grant, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, could you imagine the stats if we actually let them play a regular game against Northern Colorado, Drake,
Yeah.
Murray State? Like, it's just
Oh,
not.
it'd be silly.
Yeah, we'd be throwing up the exact same stats out there. But when, last year when we had Tice and Pierre, you could just hand it off 30, 40 times a game
Right.
in those and just grind out these poor teams and still put up 40, 50 points on them.
Exactly.
It sucks in that sense, but
We're a run
we're
first
winning.
team. We're a run first team, right? The run
Yep.
game sets up the play action. It sets up the deep shots. And so you're just not going to see him have those video game like passing numbers. But last year, it took me a while to kind of figure this out. But as the season went, you saw his efficiency, right? His completion
Mm-hmm.
percentage, the lack of turnovers, the very few interceptions that he threw, and not getting sacked, and just getting the ball out quick, making the right reads in the open guy, not forcing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you just saw him be super efficient. And I'm not going to call him a game manager, because I don't think he's that. He's better than that, but just super efficient in his operation and running the offense.
Now we do need to get Aiden's rushing numbers up. Yeah, negative 2.5 yards per game is not, or per carry is not good.
I don't care about that unless the game was on the
I
line and it was
know.
like 4th and 4, and he can run up the middle and dive because he's so tall, and just dive and,
Yeah.
and get those 4 yards. That's all I care about. I don't care about his rushing yards otherwise.
Yeah. No, and you take out UC Davis game too, and he loses 2 interceptions as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, unbelievable year last year, and I think this year, like, we can expect the same from him.
exactly.
All right, that leads us right into this next point. How about the stats perform FCS preseason All-Americans? Aiden freaking Bauman does not make first team, and we just talked about it because of the stats. Obviously, this is probably primarily stats based. I still think it's bogus that he makes second team, and the best conference in all of FCS, the Missouri Valley Football Conference, does not get a quarterback on the first team.
Yeah,
there was only one. There was only one option, and it was Aiden, and they stuck him at second team, which is an absolute joke.
Yeah, it is frustrating when the best quarterback in Missouri isn't
the best quarterback in the best conference.
Yeah, they're definitely not looking outside of the 2 state teams when setting these kinds of things. And
exactly.
what did Tommy Rittenhouse for Illinois State? Did he end up third?
He was on third team. Yep.
Which I think is deserving. He belongs up there too, but since he doesn't have state across his jersey,
exactly,
I think they wrote him off a little bit.
Yep. So Aiden, if you watch this or listen to this, let's go prove him wrong. Other guys that made the All-American team, though, we've got obviously Keandre Jones-Logan is on there. We know he's going to miss.
We know that,
pretty much all of the regular season, as to be expected with the ACL injury. Now, we did hear he is coming along real nice on that. He's been working his absolute tail off and getting every single minute of rehab he can, and he's already running again, which is fantastic to hear. So we do expect him back at some point, but timing wise is just to be determined. But it was interesting that he was still, called out as an All-American, and obviously last year proved that. Who else you want to talk about? Or you want to talk about Keandre for a second?
I just have one prediction for Key. I think he'll still have a kick return for a touchdown this season.
Ooh, I like it. It'd be playoffs.
Yeah.
Are you thinking the regular season? You think we get him back by then?
I doubt it. He might come back for state as the last game, but
that'd be something. Take one to the house in that game.
God. Ooh.
Here's where
I
say no, and here's why. Because of the dang bye week at the end of the season, we do not have a bye until the season's over, which is in my opinion, the crappiest place to have that bye. He's going to get a couple extra weeks if we're ranked where we think we'll be ranked at the end of the year. If we have a good season, not if, when, we will also have a first round bye. So you're going to get 2 weeks of extra time off, plus that game week, which is another 5-6 days, right, leading up to that Saturday that we would play. So it's almost 3 full extra weeks that he's going to get for time to get back. And so for me, I think that what would be second round of playoffs is probably a sweet spot to expect him to come back at.
I will say this: I don't know what they'll do with it exactly, but I think he might suit for the state game.
That would be sweet. That would be really sweet.
And no rush though, Key, because we don't need you just for this season. We need you for your career.
That's right. And you got Charles Pierre Jr. obviously on here. No doubt about that. How about? Oh,
I'm gonna pop in real quick because his South Dakota player page on GoYotes.com has him as named second team stats FCS preseason All-American. But
for this year or is that last year?
For this year, for 25.
Oh my goodness.
So that's
he was our only player who made first team.
Yeah, which I mean overall is fairly difficult to do when you do all FCS, but we should have had 2 on there.
Right. All right, and then front and center there in the graphic, you've got Nate Ewell. Man, what a big time addition, having him come back one more year. And that was because of the JUCO rule is the only reason that we get him for one more year, and obviously chose to come back to USD, which is absolutely phenomenal. Was a starter last year, had a ton of tackles, made the game winning tackle against NDSU on that flea flicker play. It's probably one of his most memorable ones, but yeah. And then how about our kicker? How about that?
Yeah, Will Leyland. Will Thick Calves Leyland.
Man,
dude, that's such a good thing for him too. He deserves it. Going out last year here, I know he'll back it up. He's a phenomenal kicker. He's done some amazing things for USD.
Yeah, and he's got one thing I've noticed, Jake, and I can't remember where we saw this, but it was a little clip that they shared of practice. He was kicking them from like the 45 or 50 yard line out at the training field there out by Highway 50 on the practice field.
He's the one player I love this guy so much, but he's the one player I hope never plays.
Yeah, just stick to extra points, and we'll be.
I guess extra points. We can go for 2. Let's really rack up the score.
Yeah, and for fans out there, he is not our kicker on kickoffs, correct? It's is it Zeke? Yeah, Zeke Mata. All right. So no, love this list. Just don't like that Aiden was chose second team for the Stats Perform guys, which we're not big fans of anyways.
I'll just say Stats Perform. They missed about minus about 17 players that they should have added on there from USD, but that's my own opinion.
Whatever, prove them wrong. All right, quick NFL update for our boy Joey, also guest of the show. We had him on leading up to the draft. Was disappointed he didn't get drafted. He did get invited to 2 NFL camps, both the Chiefs and the Saints. Went through that, didn't pick up a deal initially. Waited. Finally got a call, got a deal here recently. Man, super excited. What a great landing spot too, hooking up with old Jacko Cochran. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely wild. He's more than deserving of what he got to. Fantastic human being, great guy to chat with, great representation of the university. Couldn't be happier for him.
Yeah, and a great landing spot, man. And the Kansas City Coyotes has a nice ring to it.
Hey, and it's just down the interstate.
That's
Ain't
right. It's
far
not.
from here at all.
That's right. So just real quick, just reviewing his time as a Coyote here. He made the All American teams. He made all lineman team, first team All Missouri Valley. He's got the stats. He started 48 games for us on the offensive line. Just absolute, just rock solid dude, and like you said, a great guy too, off the field. So love him, love his family. Couldn't be more proud of him, and can't wait to see how his NFL career unfolds.
Exactly.
All right. Switching gears, class of 2025. We touched on this with Coach Rosie last week, but I just want to mention we did have Case and Tomey, who another late commit. He was the last one on the list here to commit and is now going to be a freshman at USD. But this one's interesting, Jake. And the reason I wanted to call him out, not only because he's a good player, but also he's got family ties. His dad, Clint, played at USD, played safety for the Yotes in the early 2000s. And this kid, he had some interest from some bigger schools. He had the Wyomings, the Air Force, the Armies, those kind of schools were sniffing around. He committed to Iowa Western Community College, which is interesting. And I know he was quoted with saying, "Hey, I just want to go prove myself at that level." And then Coach Manchagaya, after he became the safeties coach at USD here in this offseason, called him up, saw him at a camp or whatever, and got him to flip from IWCC to USD. So this one's really interesting, but I guess any thoughts on this one?
Well, I will say it is concerning when I'm seeing players from 2000s now having kids play on the team.
Yes.
It's aging me very quickly now, and I don't like that. But it's so cool. I love legacies. Fathers, sons, that's so cool. Brothers, whatever it is. I think it's so cool. So I'm really excited for him. And these are one of those I kind of want to go out and prove it just a little bit more.
Absolutely. And, he has a lot of ties to the area. I think his dad might be from Rapid City originally, but he has a lot of Vermilion ties, obviously through his dad, a lot of connections. And so be really interesting to see how his career plays out as a Yote. But yeah, glad to have him. Congrats. Welcome. And this list, is kind of it. This is the end of 2025. We can finally, I think, close the book on this one and move on to 2026, which we know we have a nice list already going there too. But
yes.
Let's talk transfers real quick. These are three guys that we haven't talked about on this show yet. We'll just go through them real quick. But we've got a wide receiver from North Carolina, Grady Sherrill, wide receiver Tennell Bryant, and a linebacker in Reese Thompson from JUCO out in Cali. I think it's at Ventura. Yeah, Ventura College here. So, what are your thoughts on these three? They've been Yotes for a few weeks now, and they've obviously been there and practicing and everything. But we've not mentioned them on this show. So, thoughts on these guys?
We haven't talked about Tennell yet. That's concerning.
No, we got so distracted. We had some good guests on and everything else, and some other topics came up, and so we're just kind of circling back here on the remainder of the transfers that we got.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't dive too deep based off of what Coach Rosie was saying, but
I mean, his Twitter handle is like Human Cheetah. I think is in his bio on Twitter is the Human Cheetah.
Just for reference for everyone, Tennell ran a 10-2 100-yard dash, 100-meter dash in high school.
Yep.
So just think about what happened last season and what a certain wide receiver did for us. We just got a taller version.
Bingo.
I think he's about 2 or 3 inches taller than.
And Mr. Sherrill too, North Carolina. Now he's young too, but came to us from University of North Carolina. So he's going to come in and compete too. I think eyes are kind of fixated on Tennell a little bit with his speed, but I think if you look at this list, I'll throw it up on the screen while we're talking here. But we brought in 3 wide receivers, a couple linebackers. Good spread across the board, really position wise. And all these guys, like Coach Rosie said, we're trying to build depth, we're trying to build competition to bring out the best in these guys and ultimately elevate the team. And exactly. While they're here, they're going to get good coaching. They're going to get good, everything, facilities, education. We talked about all that last week. So, Yeah, what a great opportunity for these guys. We're glad to have them. We know the way everything played out with the FBS and the house settlement and all that kind of impacted this a little bit. But we found guys at the FBS, we found guys at FCS, and we found guys at the JUCO level, and ended up with 27 transfers.
Great news though, we're done.
Yes,
we've gotten
finally.
that note. We are done. I think I said that when we were at 19. I thought we were done. So
yes,
they've built a fantastic class. They really saw some holes that they wanted to see needed filled, went after it. The nice thing is these aren't a bunch of one and done kids. You know, that's the one thing that was really talked about when they went after these kids. There's a lot of kids with at least 3 years to play. This was our form of high school recruiting for the most part, with the opportunity to contribute right away as well.
Yeah, and I'll just mention Reese Thompson, obviously Ventura. I think we had another guy. Yeah, Ty Morris, his teammate from Ventura out there in California, both coming to us. But Reese Thompson, you know, looking at his highlight reel, he's a tackling machine. Yeah, and he's one of those guys, and I think I tweeted this when we saw him commit to us, was he's not afraid of anybody, and his size. You know, I'm curious to see how his talent translates to this level, obviously coming up from JUCO, but we found some diamonds in the rough in JUCO. I mean, just look at Nate Ewell.
Well, one thing to remember with Nate, he went from JUCO to NAIA to us too.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is nice. Having Coach Finney here, if I remember correctly, that's the one that he's put a new focus on JUCO. There are some studs in that area of football that really want to go out and prove themselves. Maybe somebody that thought they deserved better ranking or better offers, they go JUCO instead because they want to prove themselves. It's definitely an area where it's easier to pick out a good transfer that really wants to put in that effort.
Well, and then with the JUCO ruling too, you've got those years not counting against you at the NCAA level, so these guys can come in and play now. You know, even more than what maybe they would have prior to that ruling. So, you know, but again, just as we close the book on the transfers and the portal for 2025, I think we and I'll speak for Grant too, but we feel very, very good about this list and what Coach Rosie and the coaches have brought in. And we needed it, right? We had some holes to fill, guys that we lost in the portal. And so not only just filling in bodies, but we brought in, I think we mentioned this, but high quality, high character individuals. And so, yeah, couldn't be more excited to see. And I think Coach Rosie said last week too, he said there's going to be about 10 guys on this list that are going to become household names for Coyote fans this year. Yeah, which is fantastic.
So just buckle up, study the roster before you go out there. To our first game, whether you're in Iowa State at the Iowa State game or for Northern Colorado, there's going to be some new ones on there that you won't recognize, but they're definitely going to catch your eye.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts as we wrap this episode up here?
Can we change that from 44 days to 4?
Let's go, man.
I'm ready.
Oh man, I'm ready. Now that I found out I have a ticket to the Iowa State game via Grant and his group, I'm ready.
Yep, exactly. All right. I'm good. So if you're good, let's call it a night.
I'm good. As we head out the door here, just want to thank everybody for listening. Obviously, we do it for the fans. We're very passionate on this show, but we do it for the fans to give you a little bit different, maybe information, give you some takes. Love having you be part of the show. As a Yote fan gives us a go Yotes and Grant gives us a go Yotes. Let's go, baby. But yeah, you know, continue to like, subscribe, you know, do all those things, share the show, mention it to other friends. If you can't listen live here on YouTube, we do have this in audio only format via Spotify. And Jake, you've been doing a good job putting that on Spotify pretty much right after our show gets done. It's on there within an hour or two, isn't it?
15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Usually we're still working when I'm getting it done before we close out.
Yeah. So audio only version on Spotify. Check us out. Just search Back the Pack and you'll find it. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. The excitement's going to continue to build, man, as we get to the regular season. We get into preview. We're going to get into our preview episodes, dive into some teams, some opponents, and season tickets. By the way, I looked at the seating chart. on goyotes.com, and that seating chart is looking pretty good in terms of number of season tickets sold. So I'm real happy about that.
See, I haven't worried about it because I got my tickets. I need to look at it, see how it's doing.
Yeah, go check it out, man. There's I tell you what, those middle 3-4 sections there on both sides starting to look pretty good, especially on that east side, which is traditionally the more full side anyway. But no, it's looking real good. So I couldn't be happier with Coyote Nation and appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Perfect. Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.